To Free Dad Gaming. This is her to-do list account with a update on resources, with a update on the fusion that's going to be coming out on May 10th, and then kind of our plan for the next 5 days since it is May 5th to prep for the fusion to make sure we are in a good spot when it does come to completing this one. Because spoiler alert, it is a very, very, very good fusion. The highlights in the fusion: A1, turn meter decrease. A2 is going to be a petrification and a true fear. Anybody that gets a successful turn on the true fear, it automatically activates that. So it's going to petrify them and then have another chance to true fear the entire team, which is just absolutely wild. And then the A3, I completely forgot. Oh, the A3 is a 3-turn cooldown on skills, also a 3-turn buff duration on skills, which is just absolutely wild. And I think there's one other thing, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I, of course, don't have access to the creator content stuff that they do. And then he is not in game yet, so you won't be able to see him. He's going to be an undead horde, but you won't be able to see him there. He looks really sweet too, kind of a Rhodos and Sifi type look with the blue skin there. And I think this guy has a little bit of blue skin, right? Maybe, maybe. Not really blue skin, but kind of the same overall, like dead, ghosty type feel for that champion. So what I'm going to do right now to kind of prep, I'm looking at these different tournaments and these different done or events to see if there's any low-hanging fruit. So I look at this one and go, okay, it's 50 gems, which are really important during this, and then 750. So I was like, that might be a possibility because you got the 10 brews. And for me to be able to do this with the spider's den is not going to be that hard, especially in the next 5 days to be able to use just energy here. So that might be a possibility. Champion training. If this would have been gems or energy, I maybe would have put some into it, but I'm really saving resources for champion training is because there's typically two of them and they're a little bit harder when it comes to resources to make sure that you have champions that you can upgrade. Then when it comes to the Soul Chase tournament, I did go for this one because these have two low-hanging fruit here. So you have your energy here, where it was a low, and then only for 150 points, you do have your gems here. So when it came to that one low-hanging fruit, and I only had to use 12 of the smaller souls to actually get to that. So it's really good if you just had those smaller souls kind of sitting around and be able to grab those resources. I'd already done this Sand Devil tournament before I even knew what the fusion was, and I'm going to leave these 35. I'm not going to go ahead and collect them. They will end up going in my inbox, and then this summon pool will end up expiring. Sure, the headliner champion is great, but it's also a 2%. If I got any of these legendaries, I'm not very excited about it. And then the epics as a whole, I'm not really excited about either. I do have all of them. It would be nice to start plus pouring Morag, which would be convenient for Curse City. But if the rare possibility to get a legendary, I'm going to wait for the next one. And then that should help. Hopefully it lines up with the Champion Chase tournament. So I'm going to wait. It will go to there. This one is only 35, so I'm going to be curious if the next one is 40. And if it is, then I'll have them setting, waiting to go for the next. When it comes to the events, we have a gear enhancement event. I did need to roll up a couple gear. I might roll up just a little bit more to be able to get more gems when it comes to this. Not too worried about the oils or not too worried about the shards. But if any other ones do come up, Dungeon Divers, it doesn't look like I'm going to be focused on that at all, outside of the normal thing. So the other thing, so you might be looking at 810 energy. I'll put some of that into Spider, and then I'm going to be putting some of this into the other fusions that we talked about before. So this Relic Keeper fusion. So right now I have 4, I have 4, I have 3, so I know I need to farm that stage to get to the next one, and then I have 4. So now it's going back and then just going again. Okay, we need another one of him, another one of him, and another one of him. And I'm just going to start building these 3 up as much as I can while still pulling these, and then hopefully going to, when I do have to pull Void Shards, hopefully going to get some more of him. So it's a little bit easier for those. So that's where a lot of my energy is going to be taken right now. So if you look at these 4 total and with him, that's 1,000 extra points. That's equal to 2 legendary champions when you're pulling shards. So this could be incredibly helpful when it comes to it. And then I'll have some remnant summons because the Cursed City will be resetting tonight. So it's going to be 20 hours. So I guess not really tonight. So it'll be resetting tomorrow. So I'll be able to start going again and chasing down these Revenant summits to be able to at least get one, maybe two. I don't remember how much you get from him. And then just checking the quest to see if I can complete these. I can't. They're very hard for me. And then I'll be getting 1,000 big ones, hopefully this next rotation and maybe this book. And then the next rotation after that, I'm likely to get Carnage. So being able to save that for another fusion that's going to be coming up, which will be really key. We have the Siege. We're not doing so great in the Siege so far. We're just not as active as a clan as possible, or as we can be. And then making sure I'm finishing Doom Tower. So that's one thing that we have 1 week, 3 days, and we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So being able to get that void shard, being able to get these resources like these gems are going to be really important during that time to prep for this fusion. Now, when it comes to overall tracking on my to look at what you're doing on here, make sure you are going into your silver or your tag team arena and you're doing your battles so you can get those gold or the trophies or whatever the currency is to get that void shard, to get those energy, to get the ancient shard, because that's really going to help with your fusion that's coming up. Best of luck, and we will catch you in the next one.